My name is Niaz Malik, and I'm the Executive Vice President for Corporate Services and Product Development. So I largely take care of all the corporate sector from the PTCL point of view, in terms of all the large businesses that we do business with, and also the new product that comes out in the marketplace. I'm also in charge of that. From the PTCL point of view, we are very excited to be in this market. Seriously, we have invested a heavy amount of funds into our networks, into our new product lines, which we will discuss. And we see a lot of momentum in the market from our consumer point of view that are using our products and services. We see a lot of growth from the perspective of our corporate services that are looking for our products and a diversification in our product lines. Currently, a large of our investments or a lot of our revenue from the corporate point of view is being driven from the banking sector. But we are working very closely with the pharmaceutical industry. We are working very closely even with this, industries that are providing surveillance and securities. For example, our product line called iSentry, which provides you with the surveillance cameras across the board, across the country, is an example of that, where various different companies are using those services in order to provide enhanced security to their customers and to their clients. We are working very closely with the governments, with the provisional governments, in terms of providing them with solutions, whether it be connectivity, whether it be surveillance, whether it be their data centers needs, whether it be their IT needs. There are two distinct, basically, product development cycles that we go through. One is that, as I have stated earlier, that we are doing an extreme experimentation on the data centers and virtualization aspects, working with the brand names around the world, which I have talked about. HP, I've talked about IBM, I've talked about Huawei, I've talked about ZTE, and we are having partnerships, back-to-back agreements with them, and making sure that the best technologies are deployed. For example, we have the best possible technologies that we can get around the world deployed in our data centers. We have spent over $30 million in that endeavor, and we have the best of the breeds, whether you talk about the firewalls, whether you talk about connectivity, whether you talk about fire extinguishing system. So that is one aspect of it, that any product that goes into the market has to be matured, and it has to be matured from an end-to-end perspective, making sure that the service delivery is paramount when it goes to the client's premises. That is one aspect, that before floating the product, we have our research and development. We work very closely with all our partners. The other part of it is that when we are selling these services to our customers, and obviously we have a long-lasting relationship with our customers, we have key account executive management teams that work very closely with all various different industries in order to carve out solutions and ensuring that PTCL is becoming a strategic partner for that specific business that they are working with. So they work very closely with the business teams, and they carve out solutions. And once these solutions are accepted by the client itself, they are rolled out, and then we have our technical teams that come in and make sure that the quality delivery is there. It is tested by our basically team of business consultants, and ensured by the business partners, and confirmed by our clients that the delivery exceeds their expectations. But let's talk about, from a technology point of view, how is PTCL better off? If you take a look at it, we have implemented one of the largest implementations of SAP, and we have rolled it out in our procurement, in our finance, in our marketing, whether you talk about preventive maintenance, whether you talk about corrective maintenance, whether you talk about exchanges, and this was one of the largest SAP implementation in the region, which was full of risks, but the resolve of our technical team enabled us to roll it successfully, and it is working today, and and it is paying its dividends in terms of the sheer amount of savings that we are receiving from that. So that is one aspect of how PTCL has changed. Similarly, if you take a look at it, we have the CRM, which is the customer relationship management. We have gone, out and made sure that we have the best possible CRM that we could find in the market. and we are implementing Siebel, for example. That will be another major achievement. If you talk about from a technology point of view into our infrastructure, we spend almost over 12 billion rupees every month into our infrastructure. That is a kind of substantial amount of funds, approximately, that goes into making sure that PTCL is at the cutting edge. And if you take a look at the return on investment from that, today we have a higher efficiency, whether we talk about closing our statements, whether we talk about our procurement, whether we talk about the life cycle and understanding of even each network card inventory within our systems. We have our hands on the pulse of all the financial aspects of the company. We have the best possible NOC. This NOC is allowing us to have a preventative maintenance in place to make sure that the end customer is not affected from any point of view. If you take a look at IPTV, the products that we have spent an amazing amount of funds into, we were the first. If you take a look at Evo, if you take a look at our Evo Cloud that has come out, if you take a look at the data centers, so these are all basically product lines that are in Pakistan ahead of anybody else and are providing basically a competitive edge to PTCL at the end of the day. We believe that we have to invest in our people, in the future of our people. We need to make sure that we have the best possible minds working on the best possible business solutions. And we are ensuring that we are investing where our customers want us to invest. The trends in the market, we are analyzing them very closely. We are investing into corporate solutions. We are investing into our DSL, business DSL, into other DSL. We believe that the coming years will have an exciting returns on that part. Businesses are realizing that with the data growth, the amount of data that they are consuming and that they are creating, it's very hard for them to have it's very hard for them to have an IT that can take care of that for that data itself. And it is very hard to maintain that data on their own because that is not their core expertise. So the cloud computing, and especially will be the future, we believe, and we are investing very heavily in terms of our time and in terms of our funding. As I've said, that with major brand names across the world, we are having experiment and we are doing experimentation, and we are also in collaboration in terms of selling these services to our consumer base, because that to us is a natural progression. We were the connectivity, now we are going into the data centers and eventually into the clouds. And we are routing that traffic, through our data centers itself. So we are the natural player. We feel that there is a lot of potential in that area, and the world is seeing that potential. We are seeing that potential, and for Pakistan, that becomes very important, where the prices of electricity, the prices of heating and cooling, the inflation rates, are going through the roof for now at least, and so it is putting a huge amount of strain and a burden on the businesses. Our commitment is to quality and ensuring that this important day, PTCL is geared and focused towards the customer satisfaction, and its delivery is made robust. And we are focused towards ensuring that the data and technology and the telephony becomes a melting pot, and that we move forward with a very clear-cut understanding as to how we need to service these potential clients.